Okay, YouTube, Bryce Mall here again. I just wanted to show the progress of my project here. Trying to pick up some parts from the garage and basically just putting them together because I want to connect some lights that I have, security lights, and here's one of them, to one battery using a solar charge controller, a fuse box here that I have for a panel for a vehicle, and bus for my grounds, and battery. That's a lead acid battery I had laying around from a motorcycle that I own. So basically, this is what I got so far. Um, what I've done here is that I had this 20 amp charge controller, solar charge controller, laying around. I really didn't know what to do, so I just put it all together, wrapped it up, followed the wiring diagram here, and basically just hooked it all up and put in a piece of wood. I mean, it's not a science. It's pretty easy. Probably the most difficult part of this was making the connections, and just trying to keep it all compact, like you see here. The reason for this is that this is the main design here was to keep it in my house. I don't plan to take it anywhere. I did put handles here, but that's just to probably move around the house, and that's it. But um, I'm not sure if I'm just gonna leave it in the garage to suit that purpose, or if I even gonna take it outside. Who knows? But it still be in the house. I'm not gonna plan to take it out to a camping trip or anything like that. Maybe the beach, if I decide to put it in my car or my SUV. But I'm not sure about that yet. Anyway, basically all I've done here is just tie everything together. Obviously, this is the solar panel here. It just goes up there to those two blade connectors, and as you could follow this one here, this one goes to the battery. This is 16 gauge wire, by the way. I'm only going to do, as you can see here, I got 3 amp fuses, the mini fuses. The reason for the 3 is because I'm running those DC to DC converters that they can only handle 2 amps, maximum of 3 in a peak, and these things draw about 300 milliamps when they're on. But if I leave it on all night, I'm not sure if it's going to change or not. So I put 3 amp fuses. Those were the smallest ones I could find at the auto part. So I figured I use the 3s. I could take it down to 2. They will handle 3, so it's not a big deal. I don't think they will ever be replaced, as a matter of fact. So anyways, this here was from a Noco accessory I got from my vehicle. You can see right there, it handles a 10 amp fuse, so is the wire. So basically I'm limiting this entire setup to 10 amps, 12 volts, which is the battery, a lot of amps because it came from motorcycle, but it's basically going to only pump no more than 10 amps. So that's the reason for the small gauge wire. I mean, this is only a 16 gauge. 18 would actually be too small, and so I decided to go with 16, save some money. If I would have gone to 14, it would have been a little more. Instead of 30, I would have paid 45 bucks for the wire. So I figured, you know what, I could save the 15, and basically that's what I decided to do. It is not going to go higher than 10 amps. Now, if I was going to use the full potential of this, I probably would have taken this down to 10 gauge, either 10 or 12. 12 would have been the recommended. 10 would have been safer, but then that would have cost me a little more than 50 bucks for wire, considering I did buy 30 feet to be able to wire my lamps. So it would cost me quite a bit of money, and then it would have turned into a rich man's project instead of the poor man's project. So anyways, I just wanted to show the progress. I'm already in the process of basically upgrading this, even though I'm not done with it, because I am going to replace the lead acid battery for a lithium battery, and I was able to find on eBay a good deal on medical grade batteries that produce 26 I think it's 26,000, what is it, 26.3 milliamp, milliamp hours, something like that. So I just want to be sure that everything is going to run properly. I think that the batteries actually produce, I think I'm getting like 30 of them. They're flat, pretty flat, and then they can handle a lot of current. So I should be able to put the stuff behind it. So I will migrate and make an entire section of batteries in the back of this board and feed it through right here, and then adapt some meters that I bought a meter for $7 on eBay. It measures my wattage, and then at that point I will probably use it for something other than these. If I decide, I may be able to put an inverter, and I don't know, let's see what comes out of that. But for now, just that I can show you guys what I'm planning to do, I actually bought this right here. Will show the charge state of the batteries. I'm not going to actually add this to this project, but this right here is going to be when I add the two cells in the back of this when I upgrade it. And I will have a 12-volt battery here and another bank, so it's going to have two banks, one on the top, one on the bottom, and I'm going to be able to tell the charge state with this thing here, and the meter that I'm going to put down here, which will measure the voltage and the wattage and the amps and all of that. So at that point I will have to upgrade the cables, and if I do decide to do that, I will make a new video and show everything and what I did. But if I leave the 10 amp, all I know is that the batteries I will put on this, which will equal approximately 50,000 amp hours, it will last for a very, very long time, especially to run lights in case of an emergency. So anyways, just to complete that and just finish up on the extra additions, I'm actually going to put, on my upgrade, I'm actually going to put, these connectors are going to go there. I'm actually will upgrade these connectors to the solar ones. That way I can go directly to it. Just plug in like a regular cell, like a heavy duty one. And I'm going to add this switch, which will go somewhere down here in place of this battery. And all this is going to do is that I'm going to be able to switch between the solar charging and a charger charging. So I will actually adapt a way to charge the battery without solar being available. So that will be that. Also, I'm going to put another one of these boxes right here. So I can actually take that out. And basically put another box, which I'm actually possibly going to do to this particular project anyway, because I wanted to add switches. So between the fuse and the switch, it will be almost like a circuit breaker. Not entirely like it, but somewhat. So I will have these three switches like this one here. This handles 16 amps, and they will show that they're on because the LED will turn on, and then that will show that the actual connected item here is going to be powered on. So I will have three of those switches for the three cables I have into one of these boxes. So I mean, it should actually be kind of interesting to see everything come together and see it in action. So but anyway, this is for now what I got, and this is a functioning, I put this back the way it was. This is a functioning device, and you should be able to power at least security lights. These are the SunForce 60 LED security lights with the sensor, and with this battery, it will run quite a bit. So this, by the way, this controller here, you could program it, and I got this one through Renogy when I bought 100 amp, not 100 amp, 100 watt solar cell from them, and they provided this solar charger, this solar controller. So as you can see, that LED came on to indicate there's some power going on, but that actually has to do with the programming it will receive. So if you were to, I think it's hold the button and then you could switch through them, as you can see that one. Then you could go to the next one, to the next one. So I had it on number 6, and there's one of the modes that you could program. Basically, I just have to leave it there on number 6, and after a while it will just stay in it. But what we'll do is that it will actually charge, and then when it's full, it will indicate it and basically just be there. You see now it just stopped. But there's a mode that allows you to run the lights for a certain period of time. Another one that will run the lights as long as they're on. I mean, I could turn them on and off here, but as long as they're on, this thing will actually turn them on at night and keep them on all night, as long as it's on the specific mode. So this thing here has some logic to it, and it will do some things as long as this thing is turned on here. Right now, I just have the sensors taking care of it because I don't want to drain the battery. Plus, I don't really know how much. I mean, who wants to have lights on all night outside? You know, like this type of floodlight on anyway. So, if anyone has any questions in the parts I use for this, let me know. Post it on the comments, and I'll be more than happy to provide part numbers or links, and when I got where I got this stuff. That way, someone can come up with this and put it together and make it work at their house. Maybe show their kid how to get into electronics or something. I'm not sure. But other than that, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you can, and great having you guys on my channel. Thanks so much.